It's 9 past the hour of 1 o'clock. Let me welcome all of you back to Q95 and Talk on the Block. We started discussing some issues this morning, so I'm going to just open up the lines and allow you to call about any topic that you care to raise this afternoon. Talk on the Block. It's an open session. You must have heard the news that the United Kingdom, they're getting a new prime minister, a woman this time. She'll be taking over from Cameron on Wednesday. So a woman will be the next prime minister of Great Britain, and she'll be taking or leading Britain into the talks here with the EU following the British exit or Brexit as it became known. So we're going to be seeing different organizations, different things happening there for the people of Great Britain as they negotiate their exit from the European Union. I'm sure as well you must be following the news there in the United States with this continuing saga between the blues and the blacks. Black Lives Matters, a number of different activities taking place through the major cities in the United States. A lot of people have been arrested and so on, a bit unsettled for the time being. But that's part of what it is. We just have to keep our eyes open. Of course, we saw the unfortunate death of 5 police officers that was just over the weekend. Indeed, we've got to keep our voices raised. I hope you never get tired of raising your voice on issues that concerns all of us here in Dominica.
Governance on Q, Monday nights from 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. Let's get to the point. Too many reports, proposals, policy recommendations, and implementation strategies for achieving social and economic growth gathering dust on shelves. Institutions eroded, compromised, and broken. Recommendations being ignored while poverty persists among the people. Governance on Q. Break through the barriers of uncertainty and despair and get back to the basics of good governance with bold new ideas for initiatives and growth for all of the people. Rebuild our institutions and get them back on track. Governance on Q. Discuss and understand the urgency to get real growth and empower the people to convert sound policies into tangible action, to fully engage local expertise and entrepreneurs at home and abroad, to let all ideas and voices contend, to stop putting square pegs in round holes and recycling unfulfilled government utterances. Let's see the big picture for all sectors in one integrated economy and speak to growth from the bottom up. Governance on Q, promoting good governance for growth. Fresh ideas and new mindsets for tangible results-oriented progress and growth for all. Governance on Q. Everyone welcome to join the conversation. Call us at 767-449-3095, 96 or 97, or 767-616-4257. From overseas, call 305-432-9624. Governance on Q. Monday nights, 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. Only on the big station. Only on Q95. www.q95da.com. It's our brand new dynamic Q Family website. Log in, interact, have fun on the pages of your favorite shows. Rise and Shine, The Hot Seat, Easy Rock 951, Nature Isle Cruise, Youth on Q, Knockout 95, Politics, Weekly Headlines, Island Rhythms, Soul to Soul Gospel, Creole Asser Q, The Big Link Up, Q Exposure, Power Drive 951, Q Classic Gold Flashbacks, Sports Rap, The Quiet Side of Q. Interact live with your show hosts and Q Family listeners worldwide in real time. Make your comments, give your feedback, tell the world what's on your mind in the comments box at the bottom of the pages at q95da.com. You interact and connect instantly with friends and Q Family members on the hottest social networks: Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, Instagram, LinkedIn, Messenger, Gmail, Google+. Make your comments in the box at the bottom of each news story on the news page by clicking on the headline of the news story. Log in to q95da.com. You'll just love to surf every unique page on our brand new dynamic interactive Q Family website. Browse through our interesting pages in your Q Family photo gallery. Listen to live audio. Watch intriguing videos on QTV on our homepage and in our video gallery. Q95 has long gone global. Place your web banners and video ads where the world is watching and listening on the big station, q95da.com. Streaming crystal clear audio and video in total liquid stereo. Don't miss out. Check q95da.com today and every day. Check it right now. Immerse yourself in what's hot and happening at www.q95da.com. Lock it in. Right on Q, the big station.
Sometimes the rain don't mean a thing. Diamond rings will come and go. But this is what you ladies need to know. Yeah, I know us brothers do a whole lot of things that make you sisters feel we ain't worth a thing. But let me tell you about this one special thing. When a man's ready to be faithful, it's a feeling no man can deny. And it's a moment no money can buy. Cause when it comes, that's when the plan is done. A woman's victory is won. This is what it means when a man says he needs you. This is what it means when he says he can't breathe without you. This is what it means when he says he can't live a minute without you. This is what it means when the plan is done and your victory is won. That's when he's ready to be faithful. When he feels no shame.
It's 18 past the hour of 1 o'clock. Welcome back to Talk on the Block with the music there of Gramps Morgan. And at 18 past the hour of 1 o'clock, we have some information coming in that there appears to be some work to be started on the Salisbury Road. The announcement was made by parliamentary representative for the St. Joseph constituency, Honorable Kelva Daru, who indicated that roadworks will begin as soon as they've been able to finalize the estimates for that time, but they expect it to begin very soon, indicating that some of the funding for this construction or reconstruction of the road between the Cuba car home end and the heights of Salisbury will begin soon. Mr. Kelvadaru indicated that the roadworks will begin on the Salisbury Heights. So some relief coming there for the Salisbury farmers, we'd hope. And with the news from Mr. Daru that they're going to start construction very, very soon on the Salisbury Heights Road using money allocated under the BAM. So we'll wait to see how that develops.
When he's ready to be faithful.
Yes, he's ready.
When happiness comes knocking at your door. My love will make you feel better than your brain on drugs. When I'm ready, I'll be faithful and my love will never grow.
All right, we're going to throw the lines open for your calls at this time. 449-3095, 449-3096, 449-3097.
Get locked, would you be there still rolling with me? Would you snitch to the feds cause you know with me? Try to stop me on my grind and build your own dynasty. But if you want to be my shining star, I'll be there, don't worry, just be who you are. I'll give you all you need, that house and that car. I'll give you love, loyalty, I'm faithful. This is what it means when a man says he needs you. This is what it means when he says he can't breathe without you. This is what it means when he says he can't live a minute without you. This is what it means.
Of course, we continue to keep our eyes on the situation developing out of Venezuela as tens of thousands of Venezuelans continue to pour across the border into Colombia in search of food.
Happiness comes knocking at your door, ready to be faithful. The moment that the woman's waiting for, ready to be faithful. Yeah.
So it appears like the Colombian authorities have opened up the border there to allow tens of thousands, literally tens of thousands of Venezuelans to stream across the border there into Colombia to obtain much needed food. On Sunday, Maduro authorized a 12-hour opening of the pedestrian bridge that connects Táchira in Venezuela and Cúcuta in Colombia. And that was for the first time in 11 months. And just within this basically 12-hour opening to allow Venezuelans to go across the border, the authorities there estimate that some 35,000 Venezuelans went across the border within 12 hours in search of food. Let's continue to keep our Venezuelans friends and neighbors. They've been friends of Dominica for many, many, many years. 24 past of 1 o'clock on a basically rainy and muggy Monday. If you're back home on your lunch hour, just wish you a very special good afternoon. We also continue to look at the issue of the Petro-Carib arrangement here. As you know, Dominica, along with a couple other Caribbean countries and Central American countries, entered into an agreement under the Petro-Carib arrangement. This arrangement was supposed to ensure that a lot of
personalities are ready. The dynamic DJs are ready. Song for song, beat for beat, tit for tat, deba pour deba. Who will be the people's choice? Who will be crowned Q95's best radio music show host and personality? Who will be crowned Dominica's best DJ in 2016? Your guess is as good as ours. You can make a difference in deciding the winners. Have your say every day. Call, text, tweet, vote online on the Q95 website at www.q95da.com. Be at the Harlem Plaza from 7:30 p.m. on Saturday, 30th July. Get there early and win valuable items, gifts, prizes, and shopping vouchers from very generous sponsors. Be a big winner. Only on the big station. Only on Q95.
And I'm free.
Yes, let's go to the telephones. Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Yes, good afternoon.
Hey, good afternoon, Dr. Fountain.
Yes, sir. How are you doing this afternoon?
Yes, I'm good.
Excellent.
Yeah, as you mentioned, our eyes are on Venezuela. Something just came to mind. A couple of months ago, when the leader of the opposition said that Dominica would have to help Venezuela, somebody from the Venezuelan embassy here denied that that they needed any aid. And we are seeing on the television what's actually happening. And look, you're talking about the borders that are open for Venezuelans to go across to get food. So this is some serious stuff going on. And to me, the people here are playing politics with that. And I think this is wrong. Because from an embassy point of view, if the opposition leader mentioned about Dominica helping Venezuela because we have gotten so much from Venezuela, and the somebody from the embassy making a statement that Venezuela is not in need of help from Dominica, I mean, something is very wrong there,
Yes, indeed, I agree. And we see the pictures, the television. It don't lie.
Every day. It's not happening every day. Mm-hmm. And for somebody to come from the embassy of Dominica, the Venezuela embassy in Dominica, making a statement that with Dominica, Venezuela doesn't need help from Dominica, and you hear in all the other islands that even pulling out students of theirs from Venezuela, and you're not hearing anything from a Dominican point of view. So what is really going on? It's like Dominica not taking this thing serious, or the embassy in Dominica is playing politics, because when anything that happened, they like to say we playing politics. But for me, that is playing politics, because if we have students in Venezuela, we're not hearing nothing about them. We hear about the situation in Venezuela. We hear about other islands pulling out their students or checking for their students. We're not hearing anything from a Dominica point of view. So what is that about?
Yes, indeed, and you must ask the question, if the average Venezuelan is suffering by some estimate, some 87% don't have enough food, then we wonder about visitors to the country like our students.
Of course, because you hearing about the other islands, St. Lucia, I think, and some other island were checking for their students.
Well, St. Lucia, they have pulled out their students. They beg them to return home. Yes.
Pulled out their students. So what is happening to Dominica? Our students not facing that kind of crisis? They're in a different part of Venezuela?
Because we do have students there as well.
But of course we do have students there. So we need to know what's happening from that point of view. Anyway, have a good one. I'm listening.
Yes, indeed. Thank you. Thank you very much, caller. Let's take some more of your calls. Good afternoon, caller.
Yeah, good afternoon, Mr. Fountain.
Yeah, good afternoon.
Yeah, in reference to what the last caller said, the ambassador even went as far as attacking the leader of the opposition. And I believe the reason why he's doing that is because he realized that that the fall of Maduro is inevitable, and he wants for when that happens for him to be able to stay here. So that's the reason why he plays that level of politics, because he said that if we were to collect food to send to Venezuela, he would give it to people here. But bad news for him. Venezuela have more hungry people hunting cats and dogs and birds to eat on the road, and that's not happening in Dominica at all. I mean, when I see Venezuela in trouble, when they say that the paper they have to buy to print money worth more than the money value in Venezuela. That's the time I realized Venezuela in trouble. I mean, the paper to print the money costs more than the money value.
Yes, indeed, and it's difficult for them. It's extremely difficult for them.
But of course, I follow in Venezuela news every day.
Yes, and it was kind of strange as to why the that statement was made and why the leader of the opposition was so heavily criticized.
He made that statement to protect himself, because when the Maduro administration falls, he would have to be sent back to Venezuela in that mess. So he don't want to go back to Venezuela. He wants to stay in Dominica. So he starts playing his politics right now, so he can get a pass to stay in Dominica.
All right. Okay. Thank you very much, caller. I appreciate your intervention there. It's just about 1:30 in the afternoon. More of your telephone calls. Good afternoon. Yes, good afternoon. Go ahead, please. All right. Let's try this other caller. Okay, we missed this caller as well. I'm not sure what's going on. We've missed a couple of our callers. Let's see if we can reset this here. It is just about, as I said, 29 before they go 2. Let's try again. Good afternoon.
Yes, good afternoon, Mr. Tonke.
Yes, good afternoon.
Yeah, we Dominicans are asking Regional Authority to tell us about the Petro-Carib money. It does not belong to Regional Authority. The money belongs to Dominicans. We are the one that have to pay it back, and we're not profiting anything from it. We are asking Regional Authority. We have to know, we must know, we want to know where the money gone to. Thank you, Mr. Tonke.
Yes, thank you very much. Thanks for echoing that. Certainly is a concern that we all have in Dominica. Over 250 million EC dollars. Good afternoon. Good afternoon, your overseas line. Yes, good afternoon.
How are you?
I'm doing well, and how are you doing today, Master Sergeant?
Sergeant Major. I'm doing
Sergeant Major. Yes.
Good afternoon to all your listeners worldwide, locally, and regionally. Dr. Fontaine, it's all in the news. Even Cuba, the president of Cuba, said yesterday that Cuba is hurting. Being the number one trading partner with Venezuela, they are hurting with the fuel, energy. It's becoming a crisis. And therefore, I even posted it on the social media and wondering who's next, knowing the relationship Dominica has with Venezuela. But it is a sad case when you have diplomats, politicians, playing politics with the lives of people. Things are very, very bad in Venezuela. And for the ambassador of Venezuela to Dominica to state that everything is hunky-dory, that only tells you the train of thought these dictators have. And we see it in Dominica. We see Roosevelt Skerrit. These guys are like pimps. The pimp mentality, I call it. They will take everything they can and enrich themselves, and they see their very poor people dying, whether it's for medical or whatever, and they will paint a nice picture, regardless how gloomy things are. It is time for our people to rise and understand we are on the wrong track. The way we support the dictator in Venezuela, that's Maduro, and Skerrit is no different, because Skerrit, as wealthy as he is, he will go around in the villages and give small tokens to the people, dish out $100 when he buys something, and let the change and tell them, well, you know, that is what the people believe a good president or a prime minister does. But that's not so at all. We need to stand up with the people of Venezuela, because in good times, they supported us, even though we did not get all the benefits from what they dished out to the country, to Dominica. Skerrit, Aaron, and all the people who are in hoot with Maduro, they're the ones who enjoyed all the millions and everything. And today the people are suffering. They are about to go over the borders where they can get food. Yet still, the diplomat is painting such a great picture while things are very, very bad. And Cuba is beginning to feel the pain and the tragedy that is unfolding in Venezuela, it is beginning to bleed over Cuba right now. And I think all the Petro-Carib countries will sooner or later feel it, and they will face reality. I thank you and continue to expose the cabal, the dictators in the region. Have a great day, and Dominica, God bless.
Okay, thank you very much, Sergeant Major Halsendor there. Always so great to hear you as we go to more of the telephone calls. Good afternoon.
That's Mr. Fontaine.
Yes, good day, sir.
Mr. Fontaine, I'm concerned. I want to know whether they're building a bridge in Roseau or they're going to make a movie they make in Roseau River. Please tell me, please. I can understand what's taking place in Roseau now.
Okay, that is something that we have to keep our eyes on and keep asking around exactly what is going on with that. But certainly the situation in Venezuela, critical and growing worse by the hour, is the situation, of course, hurting Cuba as well, because that's a major trading partner, and Cuba, because of its dependence to some extent on Venezuela, also having issues. Something to keep watching as we take a short break and come back.
Be prepared with the best handsets to weather the storm from Flow. The robust and rugged Plug Gator Plus is only $329 and comes with 1 gigabyte of data free. The popular Pixie 3 is $159 and also comes with 1 gigabyte of data free. Be prepared with handsets to weather the storm. Available at Flow and partner locations. Get yours now.
The show host personalities are ready. The dynamic DJs are ready. Song for song, beat for beat, tit for tat, débat pour débat. Who will be the people's choice? Who will be crowned Q95's best radio music show host and personality? Who will be crowned Dominica's best DJ in 2016? Your guess is as good as ours. You can make a difference in deciding the winners. Have your say every day. Call, text, tweet, vote online on the Q95 website at www.q95da.com. Be at the Harlem Plaza from 7:30 p.m. on Saturday, 30th July. Get there early and win valuable items, gifts, prizes, and shopping vouchers from very generous sponsors. Be a big winner. Only on the big station. Only on Q95.
Get out and experience cool mountain breezes, a refreshing river bath, candlelight dinners. It all awaits when you take a staycation. Check our amazing offers. Visit www.discoverdominica.com or call us at 448-2045. Book your staycation today.
Yes, indeed, 23 before the hour of 2 o'clock in the afternoon. Serious questions have been asked, and obviously we want to know, because it's a very serious situation. Venezuela, when they had lots, when the oil prices were over $100 a barrel, they came to the assistance of Dominica, and these benefits sadly were never passed on. The whole idea of the Petro-Carib arrangement was to make our diesel and fuel in Dominica cheaper. We never saw those savings, and it's very, very interesting the way the whole Petro-Carib arrangement was handled. And we'll continue to ask the questions of those in authority, of those in government that had responsibility for the Petro-Carib arrangement. Let's take this caller. Good afternoon.
Peace and tranquility to you and all. Sometime back with that Petro-Carib, the 5 letters that were written to the government of Dominica, who had written them, the letters? Was it you?
No, there were 18 emails that were written to Minister Austri asking for the repayment, and that was made very clear. We had the evidence. 18 letters, 18 emails sent in quick succession requesting repayment of some of the monies owed via Petro-Carib.
They must read it for the Dominicans who wear their ignorance as a badge of honor, for them to know that it's not you who wrote the letter. Why they think they can sue you? They said in Rome at $1 short. If you want to take us, so take us.
You know, the whole talk of Sue is so laughable. And I should remind Dominicans, as we're on the issue of Sue, remember in 2011, because of my reporting on the passport situation at the time, indicating that our passports was ending up in the hands of crooks and criminals, and expressing concern about it, expressing concern about whether or not there was accountability on the part of government in terms of reporting the true amounts that were being sold and reporting honestly to the Dominican public. I was sued. It's been 5 years and counting. And it seems every effort is being made to keep this out of the courts. And you know, I've been begging and pleading for my day in court, and I don't know why it is that they are wasting time, you know. And if they were so sure that Tony Astafan, he was so sure that I spoke wrongly about the Prime Minister, or that I somehow hurt the Prime Minister's image by stating lies, why not pursue the case? You know, why are you holding up the case in court? You know, and so the same thing, obviously. They're trying their best to prevent me from talking about Petrocarib. I'll continue to ask the questions. That's all I've been doing, asking questions about an arrangement between the government of Dominica and the government of Venezuela. And we are hearing all sorts of stories these days about the Petrocarib. We need to know exactly what's going on. We have a right to know, because the arrangement was signed not between Austria and Chavez, but between the government of Dominica and the government of Venezuela. So we continue to ask about the situation.
Free, and that's all it has to be. Oh, you were meant to me. Yes. We doing our best to do what's right. We doing our best to do what's right. We are not in the dark, but we are in the light. We are not in the dark, but we are in the light.
Yes, let's take some more of your telephone calls. Yes, good afternoon. Welcome to Talk on the Block.
Yeah, good afternoon again.
Yes, good afternoon.
Dr. Fontaine, even after those emails, we heard you talk about the emails for repayment of the money to Venezuela, Petrocarib. There was a talk that came out about we were supposed to be sending food to them in place of the money.
Right. Yes.
You remember that?
Yes, because in fact that was something that was there at the beginning. That's why this Petrocarib arrangement is very hurtful, because from the very beginning, the government of Dominica could have been sending food. In other words, the farmers of Dominica could have been paid out of this Petrocarib arrangement to send food to Venezuela.
So then the farmers will be making money.
Exactly. Haiti did that.
And then that didn't materialize either.
It never materialized. They had no interest in having anybody else benefit from the Petrocarib arrangement.
That
it's
is
clear.
Something else, boy.
It's clear. So, so in all ways, as I said, I always liked the way the Petrocarib arrangement was structured. It was a great idea.
Yeah, that's true. You always said they meant well.
Yes, but our people here, obviously, the intent was not carried out as far as what, in terms of helping the farmers, in terms of getting reduced prices at the pump. We never saw any of those benefits accruing out of the Petrocarib arrangement.
As a matter of fact, we saw higher prices, because at one time it reached to 16 and change, a gallon.
A gallon,
yeah,
yes, indeed.
Pure madness.
Yes, so we keep asking questions, and we will not be silenced nor stopped as we continue to demand the truth. Thank you very much, caller. We appreciate it.
Oh, this is very done. Oh, baby girl, this was so much fun. All because I'm convinced to you, this is possible.
Neither will we allow the ignorance of a few to halt the forward progress of the many in Dominica.
Our beloved island, Dominica, is now facing one of her most difficult challenges, recovering from the devastation and loss sustained in the wake of Tropical Storm Erica. In times like these, the collective resolve of a people is what sees them through. Digicel is committed to doing all that it can to see Dominica through this trying time. Digicel is with you, Dominica. Together, we will rebuild.
All right, let's take some more of your telephone calls. Good afternoon, caller. Welcome to Talk on the Block.
Dr. Fontaine.
Yes.
You know that there are neighborhoods and areas in Venezuela right now where people are sitting in cafes, drinking cappuccino and eating French pastry. That's how it is. So it's the haves and the have-nots.
The have-nots. That's correct. That's correct.
Remember that.
Yes, indeed. And that's always the situation where you have this level of corruption in countries. You know, you have those massive.
People are just not feeling anything.
Yeah, that's correct. Okay. You have these inequalities. Thank you very much for that caller. Certainly, but what we are always mindful of is that the vast majority, the people who cannot afford those luxuries, who cannot afford to have their meals or their food flown in via FedEx, that these are the people that are really bearing the brunt and suffering, and they're the ones who stood up for hours to cross into Colombia. 35,000 in 12 hours to go in search of food. That's the situation we have in Venezuela. That's why we need to certainly keep our eyes on it as we continue here on the afternoon. Quarter before the hour two.
One special thing when a man's ready to be faithful. It's a feeling no man can deny, and it's a moment no money can buy. Cause when it comes, that's when the plan is done. A woman's victory is won. This is what it means when a man says he needs you. This is what it means when he says he can't breathe without you. This is what it means when he says he can't live a minute.
Let's go over to the overseas line. Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Hello. Okay, you need to speak so we can hear you. Yes, go ahead, please. Okay.
Games don't bring gain when he's ready to be faithful. Yes, he's ready. Ready to be faithful. Faithfulness is a.
All right, let's try again. Good afternoon.
Hey, what's going on, bro?
Okay, doing well. Thank you.
All right. It's a long time. What evidence do you have that?
As we continue here in the afternoon, good afternoon.
Yes, good afternoon, Mr. Fontaine.
Yes.
Always this character I'm asking people to buy local. And the local is way more expensive than the foreign chicken. And at the same time, they are not increasing people's salary in the country so they can meet the expensive stuff they have selling here. Tell me, can that match? Thank you.
Yes, indeed. That's a very good question indeed. And for the caller trying to ask me for evidence, you need to direct your question to the Minister of Petrocarib, okay? We know that there was an agreement signed between the government of Dominica and the government of Venezuela concerning the Petrocarib. We know that 60% of what was owed to Venezuela was supposed to have been converted into debt, into a long-term debt of the government. So if you have any questions about evidence, you need to direct your questions to the minister and not to me. Good afternoon.
Yes, good afternoon, Dr. Fontaine. How are you?
I'm doing well, and how are you doing?
I'm doing good. I'm just sitting here, and I'm really bothered by what's going on. We need the parents of the students to speak up. They need to say something. The students are stuck in Venezuela. And seeing that Skerrit is incapable of getting the students out of harm's way, is there an international agency we can call upon as a humanitarian act to get these students out of Venezuela? Are we going to wait till there is some crisis and they're in harm's way and they're trapped in Venezuela before we get them out of Venezuela?
Yeah, that's a very good question, but ultimately it's the responsibility of the government, since they're there, I suppose, as guests, if you like, of the government of Venezuela, but sent there by the government of Dominica. So the ultimate responsibility falls on those governments.
So we need to apply pressure, because we're not going to wait till they're trapped and there's, everybody hands are tied and they can't do anything. We need to apply pressure to Skerrit to get these students out of Venezuela.
Yes, indeed. I tend to agree. It seems that the situation is getting worse by the day. So something, of course, needs to be done. Yeah. Okay. Thank you very much, caller. Yes,
Let
go
him
ahead,
keep
please.
playing his games, but not at the expense of our students.
I'm with you. I agree. Absolutely.
And going to the news coming in from Britain, I can see his boys' club is falling apart. So I am really happy, and congratulations to Theresa May. One by one, the house of cards are coming down. So soon he will not have any props to continue what he's doing to Dominica. I'm listening.
All right. Thank you very much, caller. Appreciate it. More of your telephone calls. Good afternoon.
Dr. Fountain, good afternoon to you and your listeners.
Yes, good afternoon.
I want to ask the Prime Minister a question. Why is it that he keeps shuffling his cabinet and the Minister for Petro-Caribbean cannot and will not be shuffled? Why? Is there something wrong about it? I think I smell a big rat. And the minister must be honest and come clean with the people of Dominica, because they are supposed to be the servant of the people. And we have rights to ask questions from our elected officials. That is what we go to the polls to do, to demonstrate our rights. And people should not be taking people to court for asking questions. We are not maligning. We are not denigrating. We are asking questions. So if your palm of your hands is clean, be honest and tell us what is happening to Petro-Caribbean and the money there. Be honest with us. Because what happens in the dark will always come out in the light one day. Thank you.
Thank you very much, caller. We appreciate this call. Let's take some more of your calls at 10 before the hour. Good afternoon.
I'm saying good afternoon. Why don't you all get all the facts or information right before just your call?
What facts? What are you referring to specifically?
The students in Venezuela. Why don't you all get all the facts right? Do all the investigation and find out what is really happening. I mean, the things that I'm hearing about the students and them, that's nothing close to the truth. Stop it, man.
No, what did we say about the students? We said that 87% of Venezuelans are suffering and can't find food. Are students able to find food in Venezuela?
Something you need to find out about the students.
But I'm asking you. You seem to know, so I'm asking you.
You're just doing
But do you know?
My brother.
But you sound like you know, so you don't know anything.
Of course I would know, but I will not answer you because you're...
Good afternoon. More of your telephone calls. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Mr. Thompson Fountain.
Yes, good afternoon.
Yes, the callers that are calling to chastise you. Tell them we have a program on Tuesday night and on Sunday night. This is the real place they have to call. We're waiting Tuesday and Sunday night.
All right. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you very much indeed. We can tell you that the students from St. Lucia are back home who were in Venezuela. Our Dominican students apparently are doing well in Venezuela by this last caller's admission. So, we'll wait and see. As we continue here on this program, it's just about 8 minutes before the hour of 2 o'clock. 2 o'clock I get out of here, but I'll be back on your radio tomorrow. More of your telephone calls. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Mr. Thompson.
Yes, good afternoon.
I'd like to tell the last caller, don't call you and tell you how to run your program. Tell him call Carry FM and tell them what to do. Don't call you. Thank you.
Yes, absolutely, absolutely. Dominica is an increasingly strange place. The things that politics allow people to do. Good afternoon.
Yes, good afternoon again. Yesterday, call on Sunday and on Tuesday night. And I will not be supportive of you, Mr. Thompson, when you said that about our children, that the government are responsible. Let me tell you why. When our children were in Cuba, the government, Roosevelt Skerrit, and DBS Radio, and the whole crew, even to the education officer, kept lying to the Dominican public on numerous occasions and stated that our children were well taken care of and the children were not imprisoned and they were in a special institution going to college, and this special institution was in the state's prison. And to every time all of them talk, Rollins Jemot, a number of them were just that belching bubbles and fooling the people, even to the ministers of government, and making us know that the children are doing well when our children were being imprisoned for a whole year and 6 months. And they did that and sent up a newspaper while Castro gave the okay to send back the children because they were students. A letter was sent from the government of Dominica asking them to put away the children from the rest of the children, and they do not want them to leak out anything back here because they did not want to lose the general election. So if you have to rely on this lie corrupted government to save our children, the advice I can give to the parents who have their children out in Venezuela, if they have a genuine love for them, should step up and find out what is their children's condition out there and to do something for the children. The Western government, they are all liars. Thank you very much.
Yes, thank you very much, caller, indeed. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Can you tell us about the dashboard?
Okay, as we continue here, the idiots are raising their ugly heads over and over again, but you're not going to get any time on my program, sir. You need to begin to ask your government the questions. They're there to serve the people of Dominica. Don't ask me any question. Ask your government the questions that needs to be asked. I'm not in your foolish political nonsense, and you don't call this radio station and try. I will shut you down every single time, okay?
Sometimes a ring don't mean a thing. Diamond rings will come and go. But this is what your ladies need to know. Yeah, I know us brothers do a whole lot.
So we continue to ask the hard questions of this government. What exactly is going on with the students in Venezuela, where 87% of the population continues to go in search of food?
And did some moment no money can buy.
We continue to ask the questions concerning the Petro-Carib arrangement. What has happened to the debt of $250 million? We need to know. More of your telephone calls. Good afternoon, caller.
Good afternoon, Mr. Fontaine.
Yes, good afternoon.
Some of the students who in Venezuela are already on island, and some of them are recipients of the Cuban scholarship.
Oh, so really, are you saying that students of ours have left Venezuela and come down?
Some of them are in Dominica and are recipients of the Cuban scholarship. That is why the caller is calling and saying what he's saying there.
Oh, okay. But they had to leave because things were difficult in Venezuela, I'm guessing.
Yes, some of them are in Dominica and they are recipients of the Cuban scholarship.
Okay, but not all of them as far as you know. Okay, thank you very much, caller, for this bit of information. Let's take some more of your telephone calls. Good afternoon.
Hey, Thompson, what's going on?
I'm doing well, Dr. Finn. What's up?
Yeah, well, I've been tuning. I was off today, and I heard you this morning with my classmate, Mikey Pascal. I'm hearing you holding the fort quite pretty well. So let me just tell you, the heat is on, so that's why these guys are calling and trying to be distractors.
That's what it is. Yep.
So use that as a positive. If you were not raising something, these guys would leave you alone. So it seems like you're really getting to them. So keep on doing what you're doing.
Yes, they've spent countless hours trying to shoot me down, as we say in the language. But I'm not perturbed.
Well, that's part of the course, right? That's part of the course. I don't think you have to worry about anything. All I have to do is just keep yourself safe. But I wanted to ask you a quick question because I don't want to take up too much time. I was reading something in Master Cemetery this morning about Mr. Carbon, the chief of police, revoking the gun license of Mr. James. Can you speak to that?
Oh, yes. Wayne James, a former police officer for many years, his gun license was revoked and his gun taken away from him. And the day after his gun was taken away from him, his home was burglarized. The day after it was taken.
So the Master Cemetery had a scanned copy of the letter that Carbon sent to Mr. James, but it didn't give the reason why the license was revoked.
Right, and because of that, in fact, on Friday, I was informed that Friday at 4 p.m. was the deadline for Mr. Carbon to say exactly why he took away the gun, and feeling that further legal action was pending. I've been trying to get to Mr. Gildon Richards to speak to this particular issue, but I know that further legal action is being planned.
So
So, but does he have the legal authority to just take away someone's gun without an explanation? Does he have? Is he exceeding his authority?
Well, that is something that the courts have to decide on. I'm not sure under what authority he quoted. He quoted some part of the legislation, but I'm sure that there must be some clearer reasons have to be given. And if you're going to revoke someone's license, you must tell them exactly why, not just quote a broad law, but indicate exactly why. And that was not done. And that's what Mr. James was actually asking for.
So as far as you know, as far as you've heard, has the gentleman in question, Mr. James, the former police officer, has he used his gun recklessly? Has he threatened anybody as far as you know?
Not that I know. I have absolutely no reason, not that I know. But that is something that has been, I'm sure, will be addressed before the courts.
Well, Carbon is really setting himself up. That's pretty shocking.
Yes, indeed.
He's really setting himself up. He's setting himself up. This is madness. He's really setting himself up. And I am not sure who is advising him or who is directing him. But I think this is a bad sign. This is a bad sign of somebody who really is really over the head, right?
Yes, indeed.
But that's probably just a harbinger of things to come, right?
You bet. You bet.
I hate to tell you that, and I hate to be a pessimist, but this is a perfect storm brewing, though. This is a perfect storm brewing.
So we simply have to wait and see.
Well, all is not well in Dominica, my friend. From my vantage point, I don't know where you are, if all is well, but certainly from what I'm reading and hearing and listening, all is not well at all.
Yes, indeed. Well, Dr. Finn, we are just about out of time. It's a couple seconds before 2 o'clock. We have to make way for another program, but thank you so much.
Yeah.
Okay, thanks a lot. We appreciate it. Okay, and that's where we come to the end of Talk on the Block for today. I'll be back on the radio tomorrow morning at 8 o'clock with more talk. Until then, enjoy the rest of the day. Bye-bye.